So by tomorrow morning for your drive into work, most of you should be dry, maybe just some lingering showers, spotty showers off to the east, but for the most part, we're looking dry tomorrow morning. But then by tomorrow afternoon, with a secondary cold front and some more daytime heating as well, we see more showers and storms starting to form, mainly off to the west. Today we have that severe weather to deal with the main threat, very large hail, up to tennis ball size hail possible, and high winds up to 75 miles per hour, and even a tornado or two. It's not completely out of the question. We have that high pressure trying to move in a little bit more, keeping us dry for most of the day today. But going into tomorrow, that low pressure starts to sink down a little bit with a cold front that's initially going to push out the high pressure, and that's going to make some room for showers and thunderstorms, especially as we go into the evening hours tomorrow. We see some more showers and storms starting to form as we go, especially into late afternoon, early evening, probably arriving in the Twin Ports sometime between 6 and 8 p.m. It will continue to move on southward into our southern Minnesota counties and also into Wisconsin by the rest of this evening. The main threat going into this afternoon is some very large hail we can see with some of these storms, especially in this hatched area, basically from Duluth on southward, where we can see some hailstones up to 2 inches in diameter. And there's also a tornado threat with some of the storms. In the brown, we see a 5% tornado threat. That may sound very small, but it does mean that certainly there is the possibility, and we are expecting maybe 1 or 2 tornadoes with some of the storms as we go into this afternoon. The ridge is really going to amplify off to our west, and especially as we go into the middle of next week, the jet stream will be even farther to the north, allowing some of that hot air to move into our area as well. So especially into midweek next week, it's looking much warmer. I also want to show you what these storms are going to do to our temperatures. Look at what's happening here with those storms starting to form into Wisconsin. Temperatures are going to drop like a rock, basically forming a little bit of a small mini cold front, pushing that cooler air into the very warm air in Wisconsin. And the same thing is going to happen on the head of the lake by around 4 to 5 o'clock when we have that second batch of storms starting to form. That's going to be pretty interesting to see that develop as well. And you'll see most of the storms are confined to our Minnesota areas. Wisconsin will be mostly dry during the overnight tonight and also into tomorrow morning. Just some showers and storms passing through our Minnesota areas, but Wisconsin is looking mostly dry. And then as we go into the afternoon hours tomorrow, that's when we see the storms starting to fire up down to the south. Minnesota will be dry then, with the showers and storms in parts of Wisconsin continuing to spread on eastward. So with the warmer temperatures tomorrow, the beach might be a good place to go. Do keep in mind there is a chance for some showers and storms, especially in the morning, and the better chance down in Wisconsin. Probably in Minnesota you're looking at mostly dry conditions and increasing sunshine into the afternoon as well. But the temperatures really started to increase with some 90s down to the south, also mostly mid to upper 80s for the rest of the area, and the dew points are really high, 70s for all of our Wisconsin areas, also around the head of the lake here. So the atmosphere is really juicy and really ripe for some severe weather as we go into the afternoon. And do remember that storm up north? It's still going to be there as we go into Thursday, and it's going to get a little bit closer to our area as well, along with a cold front, and that could bring another round of some showers and storms for us as we go into Thursday and even into Friday. That storm doesn't want to move a whole lot. In fact, it's going to move a little bit closer. As we go into the overnight, all of us will start to cool down into the 60s and 50s, so much better sleeping weather compared to the last few nights we had here. And then also tomorrow, much more comfortable temperature-wise, but still some 80s down to the south, 70s, and even some upper 60s as we go further to the north, and especially to the north and west. We see a new area of low pressure starting to form to our north. That's initially going to bring in a warm front going into Sunday, so Sunday is going to be noticeably warmer, but as we progress through the day on Sunday, we see a cold front trying to move in there as well into the afternoon and evening hours. So a very similar situation to what we're seeing today. That could bring us some more showers and storms into Sunday as well. A better chance for some widespread showers and storms comes on Saturday, and then after that we start to see temperatures really starting to increase, also down to the south, with plenty of 80s on the board there as well. That temperature increase continues into next week with highs in the mid-80s, upper 80s, and probably even into the 90s by midweek next week. We have the storm chance into Saturday. Again, no severe weather expected as of right now, but after that the forecast is looking dry. We have a line of some light showers approaching us from the west, making it into our far western counties as we speak. We are expecting this line to lose some steam as it moves further off to the east. This is definitely not going to bring any severe weather, certainly not compared to what we saw yesterday. Plenty of storm reports, especially down to our south, with some large hail close to 2 inches in diameter near Willow River around I-35 there as well. So that could cause some issues yesterday as well in northern Pine County. Also close to 2 inches diameter hail in Gordon, Wisconsin, but also plenty of reports from some strong winds as a line of storms move through, and also some flash flood issues in that area. And close to Duluth, we also had a storm coming through. We saw some beautiful pictures of a shelf cloud moving across downtown with close to 2-inch diameter hail or around 2-inch diameter hail just a few miles up the North Shore. So a very active day yesterday. Today is going to be much quieter. Also yesterday the drought monitor came out, but we didn't really have a lot of time to talk about it, so we'll do it today because it got even worse. We still have that extreme drought around the South Shore, and also the severe drought in the orange has expanded. So the rain from yesterday was very much welcome, and the bad news is we don't have a lot of more rain opportunities as we go into the next few days. This afternoon, mostly cloudy, as we've seen increasing cloud cover for most of our Minnesota areas with a line of showers coming into the area. There's not a whole lot of moisture or instability to work with for these showers, so we're not expecting a whole lot, maybe just a few stray showers possible this afternoon into the evening. Tonight we start to dry out, and then by tomorrow morning we're looking mostly sunny to start off the day with a wind from the north and west. Will remain mostly sunny for basically the entire day tomorrow, and then as we go into the morning on Sunday, that's when we see some more increased cloud cover and the chance for some rain down to our south and west. This model has that rain diving down to the south, so maybe some of our southern areas could see just a little bit of rain into Sunday morning. But also as we go further into Sunday afternoon, we're starting to look mostly sunny again. So basically not a good chance of rain for the day on Sunday either. It's really beautiful outside right now. It's all with plenty of sunshine for most of the area. Just some clouds off to the west and also down to the south. And temperature-wise, it's looking pretty good with some 80s and 70s. Much more comfortable than yesterday. And in fact, Moose Lake, 16 degrees cooler than it was 24 hours ago. So generally just a lot more comfortable day for basically the entire Northland here today, with also dew points being way down compared to yesterday. It's a little bit breezy around the head of the lake though, with winds somewhere between 15 and 20 miles per hour coming off the lake. So that's just something to keep in mind if you plan on coming to Canal Park this afternoon. It will remain a little bit breezy as we go through the day today, and also tomorrow. Today especially down to our south and west with wind gusts possibly over 20 miles per hour. That should start to quiet down a little bit as we go into the evening and also into the overnight hours. But also into tomorrow, it could just be a little bit breezy still, not really windy, but a noticeable wind somewhere between 15 and 20 miles per hour coming from the north. So as we go into the overnight hours tonight, we'll see decreasing cloud cover with temperatures dropping through the 60s and into the mid-50s by tomorrow morning. We'll start off mostly sunny tomorrow. Maybe a few more clouds starting to develop by the afternoon, but we'll call it mostly sunny for the day tomorrow with warmer temperatures as well, up into the upper 70s here in Duluth. If you're cabin bound this weekend, tomorrow is your sunnier day with the cooler temperatures as well. Mainly some mid to some lower 70s too. And as we go into the day on Sunday, slightly more cloud cover, especially down to the south, with a slight chance for maybe a few sprinkles in the morning. A little bit warmer too, with temperatures back into the mid-70s for basically the entire area. We'll keep the mid-70s, the mid to upper 70s through the weekend, but as we go past the weekend, we see 80s starting to return, so we start to warm back up, low to mid-80s possible. Maybe a slight chance for some showers again Tuesday and Wednesday, but otherwise the forecast is looking dry again.